The final moments of 2016's Deepwater Horizon hint at what happened to BP executives Donald Vidrine and Robert Kaluza after the unprecedented disaster. However, since the film focuses on the tragedy itself, it doesn't spend much time exploring the aftermath of the Deepwater Horizon explosion in depth. Now known as the worst oil spill disaster in United States history, the Deepwater Horizon incident occurred in 2010, with the subsequent oil well blowout lasting a staggering 87 days. In total, an estimated 210 million gallons of oil flowed into the Gulf of Mexico off the southern coast of Louisiana. In the film, Mark Wahlberg plays real-life Deepwater Horizon survivor Mike Williams, who was a chief electronics technician on the project. Notably, the titular ultra-deepwater, semi-submersible offshore drilling rig was owned by Transocean and operated by BP, and the movie doesn't pull any punches when it comes to saddling BP with being at fault. Deepwater Horizon also chronicles the efforts of offshore installation manager James, Mr. Jimmy, Harrell, Kurt Russell, to convince BP executives Donald Vidrine, John Malkovich, and Robert Kaluza, Brad Leland, that the rig's newly placed cement work hadn't been properly tested. Donald Vidrine and Robert Kaluza were initially charged with manslaughter after the Deepwater Horizon explosion. The BP managers disregarded safety warnings. In true movie fashion, Deepwater Horizon foreshadows the true story's impending explosion by having its protagonist, Mike and Mr. Jimmy, point out the lack of sufficient testing when it comes to the integrity of recently completed cement work. When the cement job fails completely, it triggers a massive blowout. Several drill team members are killed immediately. Vidrine manages to evacuate in time. The unsealed well spills oil into the surrounding waters, while a series of equipment malfunctions ignites the oil and, eventually, Deepwater Horizon itself. The Damon Bankston, the drill team's mud-collecting vessel, is also drawn into the chaos. Ultimately, 11 people were killed in the Deepwater Horizon disaster. Survivors like Mike Williams testified, asserting that the oil drilling industry often puts speed over safety, via Financial Post, which is exactly what happened on April 20, 2010. As Deepwater Horizon's ending reveals, Donald Vidrine and Robert Kaluza were the only two people who were prosecuted for their actions. Initially charged with 11 counts of manslaughter, the BP executives were never really held accountable for their actions, as their charges were dismissed just 5 years after the disaster. While the larger entities were questioned, no other individuals faced legal recourse.